You can't help but love them. She gives the best cuddles.
Big lump.
We are Sharon and Lindy from ACT Wildlife, and this is Tina and Sylvie's story for GeoBeats.
Sylvie came in as an orphan, so just fitting into the palm of your hand. She still needed to be kept in an incubator, round-the-clock bottle feeding. And in the early days, all of that should be happening inside the mum's pouch, out of view. So it's a bit of a peek into this other world when we get to see them from that tiny. Sharon and I are both wombat carers, and I'm the wombat coordinator.
When Sylvie came to me, I used to take her into work. 5 feeds a day at that stage, so she grew up with me.
Sharon already had Sylvie in care, so I handed Tina then off to Sharon to buddy up with Sylvie.
Tina.
Sylvie was a little bit miffed when Tina arrived because she hadn't actually seen a wombat before.
Sylvie bearing her head.
So it took a little while for them to get to know each other.
Yeah, I'd be scratching myself too.
Tina is a much more serious wombat. She's all about the business of eating, whereas Sylvie was kind of used to entertaining herself. She's all about putting on a bit of a show, really.
She does that mad running around, the zooming around. She's just full of this exuberance and joy. One of the great things about wombats is they need to have close body contact to stay healthy.
Kisses and snuggles.
Because they are a pouch baby, they're used to having their mum's body wrapped around them 24 hours a day. And so as soon as they're out of that critical incubator stage, their carer has to give them lots of body contact.
Hey, beautiful girls.
It's a tough job cuddling baby wombats for hours every day, but you're up for the job, Sharon.
I was most definitely up for the job of wombat cuddles. And in fact, today I was outside and I did have another wombat cuddle and then had to come in and get changed because it's raining and they're muddy.
Tina couldn't be cuddled because she was a bigger animal and wasn't accustomed to being held by this great big predator, which is what I was to her. But she came round, she was starting to relax.
They spent all of winter inside at night.
The reason they were inside over winter is because they should still have been with their mum. They would have been outside grazing with their mum at night, and so her body would provide them warmth. Without that, it's just too cold to put them outside as little babies. In Canberra winters, with your warm dressing gown on and your gumboots and a torch on, while you read a book or something for 2 hours, umbrella up if it's raining, while they just graze, because they have to have that time for their health and development.
We'd go outside during the day when it was warmer, and then at the end of winter they went outside permanently. They have their own enclosure out the back, dug lots and lots of holes into their burrow and just enjoying life, I think.
Another burrow under the log.
Because they eat grass, it's their natural diet, all the wombat carers go out every day and we cut baskets and baskets and baskets of grasses for them. And it's just a daily thing. And you can do that for 6 months or more. Their bond with their mum person, their mum carer, is so strong. They're incredibly intelligent. They've got a very specific vocalisation. It's different when they're just calling, Mum, where are you, to, the really desperate, Mum, I need you right now. Especially when they're little babies in the house. If you go into the next room and it becomes almost like a little shriek, and that's like, Mum, where have you gone? Can't find you. Here she is. They know what they want. They know how to get it. They're just fascinated by spaces. If you leave the fridge door open, they don't eat the food, but they just pull everything out. Wherever you go, they're right at your feet.
I was absolutely blown away by how much personality a wombat has. I find it an honour to be able to do this. You can't help but love them. And they give you love back up until they get to that tetchy teenage age. As they get older, they start to separate from you. And this is going to be harder with these two because they are just so loving and so adorable. My previous wombat wasn't quite so hard to let go because he was really quite aggressive. So you sort of took your brave pills before you went into the enclosure and depending on what sort of a mood he was in.
I love Tina more than she loves me. She's forgotten me now.
You will go to the ends of the earth to try and protect them and make sure they're healthy. Hopefully I've got a couple more months of Sylvie cuddles, and then I really have to back off and sort of help dehumanise them before they get released.
They tend to challenge you rather than greet you, so there's a lot of head shaking and growling noises, stay away type noises.
They'll hopefully be released into the same burrow, and they will then probably separate and go and do their own thing.
They can share burrow systems. They may have wombats in different chambers off the same burrow system, but they still don't interact. Once the mother and baby have finished, mother throws the baby out. She pushes him away at about 18 or 20 months, and the babies are on their own after that. Our release sites are carefully organised. We have a team of people who audit the release site to look for vacant burrows. There's no roads close by. When we release them, we want them to be wild and not need people anymore. The 2 I released that I was able to go and visit didn't want anything to do with me, which is good.
You're a bit wet, honey.
You worry about them, you love them, you care for them, and then you release them and you still worry about them.
We don't know what the future holds when they go back to the bush, but we've at least given them the chance to go out there and be part of that environment that they're supposed to be part of.